Okay, everyone, thank you for joining. Happy Super Monday. It is Monday, February 3rd, 2020. Today we are going to go over a new feature in text codes. kvCORE has just added the feature of adding a hashtag to your text codes. So that could be really helpful in maintaining an organized CRM, as well as making your follow-up that much easier. And we'll kind of go over all the different options you can have with that. So I guess now is as good a time as any. Let's just dive right in. So we're going to go to find your text codes, and we do have a webinar that kind of goes over text codes that we did a little bit a couple months ago, but today we'll kind of go over the new feature. So you'll find the call capture feature, which is where the text codes live, here in the lead engine tab. So once you're in lead engine, you go over to call capture and click get started. And here is all the information about your text codes. Your screen will look a little bit different from mine, as I've got, as an admin, I've kind of got the view of everyone's text codes. And as we went over, there's everyone has their own text code. Everyone who has an account with us has their own text code automatically. So check that out. Check out our first webinar on that. But this is going to be where you create your own custom text code. And as we went over in our other webinar, you can do text codes for particular properties or reoccurring campaigns, really anything. It's another lead capturing tool. So without further ado, let's just create our new text code. So we're going to add new, click the green add new button at the bottom. And here's where the screen looks a little bit different. You've got your hashtag to add spot here. So an example I'm going to use before, it's kind of similar to a one that kvCORE did a webinar on last week. Let's say you were to market this however you like to do your marketing, whether it's Facebook or anything like that. You can offer a subscription to a list of all waterfront properties in the area. So the way you do this is you would say, let's do water. Water will be our text code. And as you can see here, there's a spot for MLS ID in case you want to do this for just a particular property. But this is going to be one that you won't have to, that won't expire ever. We can make our reply message, hello, thanks so much for subscribing. We will send you a list of all properties. We'll send you a list of all, we'll say waterfront. All waterfront properties weekly. If you want to get fancy, you can add emojis in there or something like that. But then we're going to add hashtag waterfront. Okay, so yeah, so anyone who sees, anyone who texts water to, and again, you have to select your smart number. Our smart number is this one. Anytime someone will text water to this smart number, they'll get this message from you, and then they'll also be added in as a new lead under the hashtag waterfront. So we'll add this code. Custom text code added. And now a good trick for to actually follow up on that will be to create a smart campaign for it. So what we're going to do first, though, is we have to create our list that we promised them. So we go back into lead engine. We're going to do a squeeze page for this. Bear with me. We've got to select our domain. It's going to be a multi-property squeeze page. And we're going to do it for all of Erie County. Erie County, there we go. We're going to do it for the only option we're going to really have is going to be waterfront. And you can do this for anything. You can do this for foreclosures. If you want to work with foreclosures, you can do text foreclosure to your smart number. You can do it for anything really. And if people are looking for lease to own, like you can do that if you like working with those with clients like that, short sales. You can just do one for reduced prices. And as we know now with our kvCORE links, they never expire. So the same link will be active and automatically updated. So you can just create this link, schedule it to go out every week, and then you'll never have to think about it ever again. Let's carry out our waterfront link. So there's waterfront in Erie County. We're not going to put a hashtag or a source because this list isn't for lead generation purposes. It's for carrying out and nurturing a lead that we already have. We're going to put never for our property views before registration because this person's already registered with us. We don't want to annoy them and make them log in again. So then we're going to create our link, and then we're going to take this link and we're going to copy it to our clipboard. Let's just real quick, as we do with all of our squeeze pages, we're going to go to the top here and, whoops, I'm sorry, I got my Zoom stuff in the way here. I'm just we'll see if this squeeze page worked, which it does. We got 41 results. So this is going to be our list that we're going to send out via text to the folks that responded with interest to this house or with this campaign. So you go back into kvCORE. You're going into marketing autopilot. And we're going to go into smart campaign. We're going to add a template. We're going to click the green add a template button, and it's going to be for SMS text. SMS template. We're going to call this waterfront. That's it. It's going to be okay for me. Content's going to be, hello, here is the updated list of all waterfront properties in the area. Then you just drop in your list, drop in that link that we just created, add the template. And as I mentioned earlier, that link will automatically update itself every single day as that often as as those properties come in and off the market that fall within that criteria. That link will always update itself. So once we set this campaign, we can set it and forget it. So we're going to do add campaign. Campaign is going to be for me. This is going to be for when a lead is moved to a hashtag. We're going to make our hashtag waterfront. Next, we'll just say it's for all. It's really for buyers, but we don't want to make that the only designation. Campaign name, we're going to say waterfront text. And say this is leads generated from the text code waterfront. I'm going to say text code for waterfront properties. I'm going to have it always run, leave it unlocked. Next, okay, so then we're just going to be hashtag waterfront added, designated for all, waterfront text, add the campaign. I got to find it in my library here. Where is it? I have so many campaigns in here from all these different examples. Let me refresh it here. Sorry about that. Sometimes it might take a second to actually appear. There it is, waterfront text. So I'm going to click on it. Right now, there's no touches on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit add action, SMS. I'm going to choose my template, which I believe I saved as waterfront. I can view it. There it is. Hello, here's the updated list of all the waterfront properties in the area. It's going to go from the agent to the contact. I'm going to have this go out 7 days apart. Oops, got to give an action. So I'll say that I'll do week 1. So we're going to do 7 days apart because we had already sent them a text right when they agreed to do this campaign. Remember? So we don't want to just bombard them with all this information. We want them to kind of get it gradually. They agreed to weekly lists. So this is then we're going to add another action. We're going to do the same thing for several weeks. Waterfront, we'll do week 2. Agent to contact, we'll make this 14 days. We'll just keep going in increments of 7. I'll do one more. I think you all kind of get the gist of what we're doing here. But so as kvCORE, as the experts at kvCORE explained, they're like, this is going to be a good way to send someone relevant content that they signed up for, and they're automatically imported into this campaign because they are associated with the hashtag already. So you don't have to do anything. Once you do this, this whole thing took me 11 minutes, to go through as I'm looking at the time on this webinar. So it's very, very simple, very easy, and it can be very effective. They can be getting these messages from you for months, and then maybe they'll say, stop texting me, I don't want this anymore. Or they'll say, hey, thank you so much. I like what you've been sending me. I'm interested in these properties. Or maybe they'll say, I'm interested in a different type of property, and you can add a search alert for them that more fits their exact property interests, and kind of go from there. So then you have a good correspondence with a potential client. Let me just finish up this one. We'll go 21 days. Okay, so you get the idea. You should probably want to do this for at least a couple months worth, and then continue to add. You'd want to make the campaign active as well, of course, so that they're automatically activated on it. But that's so that's that example. That's just one specific example of how you can use hashtags for text codes. As you saw there, just to kind of recoup this, you saw that you can add a MLS ID to these text codes. So you can do one of these text codes for one of your listings. You can put that text code right on your a writer, and you can kind of change your text code as you go to be specific to a particular listing, or you can put it on an open house flyer. So for a particular listing, using an address as the code itself. And then it's because you have the ability to add a hashtag that kind of keeps all the people that you have come into your CRM, either from an open house or from any sort of other, potentially property boost leads. This is just one more avenue that you can kind of generate leads through, and then nurture them that way. And then they're all under the same hashtag, so it doesn't really matter what source they came through. They're all still tagged the same, and you know that they are interested in that particular property. So kind of a neat feature, a very simple feature, one that you can continue to use to help yourself with social media content as you market these text codes, and you nurture potential clients. And as we mentioned when we were going over different things, this was just one example. I chose waterfront as the subject matter of this webinar, but you can do this if you like working with foreclosures, or you like working with short sales, things like that. So you can send people send clients lists of all those available properties, and they can kind of use your services for that stuff too. But that's all I have for today. We will tune in next week for another kvCORE webinar. And thank you for those who tuned in live, and for those of you who watched the recording, thank you for tuning in as well. You can feel free to shoot me an email or a text, or give me a call, and we will set up a one-on-one meeting if you have any sort of interests or interest in learning more about what we went over today, or anything else related to kvCORE or social media. So thank you again. Have a great week.